Hi everybody, welcome back to Life Rocks. Thanks for coming back and joining me again today. And if you're not already subscribed, please be sure to click that little subscribe button down below. I realized that it's actually been a long time since I've done a real serious video on MdDS or vestibular issues. So I wanted to take some time to do a video that I've been meaning to do for a really long time. It's kind of a deep dive into brain fog or the cognitive dysfunction that we can sometimes experience when we're living with a vestibular illness. A lot of people have a hard time understanding how just feeling kind of a sense of motion or dizziness could cause cognitive dysfunction, or what we refer to as brain fog. So this video is kind of going to dive into what causes that and help people who don't experience it sort of understand what it is that we're going through. A few years ago, I did do a video on MdDS and brain fog, so I'll be sure to put a link to that video down below in the description. If you haven't already seen it, be sure to check it out. That video had a lot of visuals that kind of help people understand what was going on in our brain and in our system when we were having those periods of extreme brain fog. I got a lot of feedback from my viewers saying that it really helped them feel less alone. It helped those moments feel a little bit less scary to them, and a lot of feedback saying that the visuals were really helpful for them in understanding why they were experiencing what they were experiencing. This video is probably going to be helpful for those people in our lives who just don't understand what it's like and get frustrated with us when we have moments of confusion or brain fog, or are just too overwhelmed to take on one additional thing, or when they see us struggling with multitasking. If you're a healthy person with a healthy vestibular system, and there's somebody in your life who's living with a vestibular illness, please watch this video till the end. And if you're living with a vestibular illness and you're fighting an invisible battle every moment of every day, share this video with somebody in your life that needs to understand what it is you're fighting. Share it with that person at work who got frustrated with you when you made a simple mistake. Share it with your friends and family who are having trouble having a sense of empathy when you're struggling to give it all you've got just to keep it together. Share it with the people that need to walk a mile in your shoes in order to understand and learn to give you grace and allow you to give yourself grace. This video will contain visuals and relatable experiences and examples to help a normal, healthy person relate and understand to what it is we're going through when we're experiencing those moments of brain fog, or when we're having trouble with cognitive function. Speaking of cognitive function, I have a hard time creating these videos. I do get a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on my videos about how, wow, you really seem like you can sit there and stay focused so well. I don't think I would even be able to sit still for so long. Wow, you really seem so relaxed when you're talking. You really seem to be handling this well. In reality, video editing is a beautiful thing. So what you just saw prior to my little video intro was an edited form of my video. I edited out all the brain fog moments, all the moments where I said the wrong words, all the moments where I sat there silently with my jaw wide open. See, I can't even think of words right now that I need to say because I couldn't think of the word that I needed to say. I edited all of that out. And in order to keep on track, just for that simple little introduction to what my video is going to be about, I had to write it all down in notes and read it. Try to memorize a sentence, look at the camera and say it. Memorize the next sentence, look at the camera and say it. And it took me 3, 4, 5, 6 times with some of those sentences. So although I appear to be able to handle myself well in front of the camera, you can't believe everything you see on camera. Video editing is a beautiful thing. But I'm going to keep real backwards wording. Again, I'm going to keep this portion of the video real. No editing. Honestly, I'm sorry for you guys. I'm sorry that you're going to have to sit there and watch me struggle with my words and with my thought process and with saying things backwards and over again and rambling. You won't be seeing me edit out those times where I have to turn off my lighting and take a break because I'm too disoriented to continue to go on. You're going to see the real struggle that I face in front of the camera to try and make these videos, to share my experience and to raise awareness and to just help people live with what I'm living with. So this video is for those people who are healthy, who don't understand why we do the stupid things we do sometimes. And by stupid, I'll just share one of my most recent moments of brain fog. I was getting ready to head out the house and go do some errands, got all my stuff together, my purse, my keys, my phone, headed out the door, got into my car, and realized that I also brought myself a fresh roll of paper towels. I have no idea what I meant to grab in place of those paper towels, still, till this day. But I headed out the door with a roll of paper towels. Just days before, I was working in my garden and I needed to get my little shovel to dig a hole and plant some herbs. And for some reason, I walked into my house, I grabbed a hairbrush, and then I headed out to my garden with it. Yeah, we do some crazy shit. But there's a pretty good reason why. And I hope to help people understand why in this video. Living with a vestibular illness is like living on a crazy freaking ride every minute of every day. The only difference is when you pay admission to get on a ride, you know that you're eventually getting off that ride. Most of us don't ever get off the ride. Ever. We beg and we beg for them to stop the ride and let us off. But they won't. And the other difference is, when you get on a ride, a roller coaster, you see what's coming. You know what's coming. You see the hill in front of you. You know whether it's going up or down. You see the twists. You see the turns. You see the loops. You know what's coming next. You know to brace yourself for what's coming next. With a vestibular illness, we don't know. Every second is a crazy morph of sensations, and we never know what to expect. Whether we're going to feel like we're pushed to the left or pushed to the right, or pushed forward or pushed down to the ground or lifted up from the ground. We never know what to expect. We're just along for this ride, this purely chaotic ride that we cannot ever get off. And here's where the big difference happens, the big difference that really, really affects that cognitive function, that really, really creates that brain fog, that makes us do that stupid shit, like think a hairbrush is a shovel. So if you're a healthy person, think about whatever it is you do for a living, whatever it is you do for a hobby, whatever it is you do with your life that you need focus and brain power for, whether you're a student, whether you're a business executive, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a coach, whatever you are, think about, hey, even if you're a housewife and you're taking care of the house and the kids, see, more brain fog, can't keep my stuff straight. Whatever it is you do, imagine that you're on this crazy roller coaster and you don't get to look and see which way you're going. You have no idea what to brace yourself for. Yet, you're not just on the ride to enjoy the ride. Because those of us living with the vestibular illness are not just here to enjoy the ride. Like I said, we are trapped on the ride. We are living on the ride. So think about being on that ride and not just enjoying that ride for that moment in time, but think about having to live your life on that ride. Whatever it is you do in your life that causes you to really need to use your brain, to really need to focus, to really need to think, imagine that you're doing it while you're on that ride. And think about how difficult it might be for you. Think about how easy it could be to make a mistake. How much it might stress you out to try and make sure that you're getting everything right while you're on this crazy ride. Let's say you lead business calls, conference calls, Zoom calls, if you will. Can you imagine taking your laptop onto that roller coaster with you and sitting and having an effective conference Zoom call? Would you really have communicated everything you meant to communicate? Would you have really been in the moment and focused on what you needed to focus on? Or would have you just been thinking, oh my God, when is this ride going to end? I can't even think straight. That's our life. Every minute, every second. So the next time you catch yourself wanting to be frustrated with us for being overwhelmed or for being stressed out or for doing something dumb, for slipping up, put yourself in our shoes and recognize that you would fuck up too. My videos don't normally come from a place of anger like this. But I think some recent job experiences have put me in a really bitter place when it comes to people in our lives being aware of what we're going through, as in we tell them, we communicate with them, we try to inform them, we let them know of our struggles. Yet not being fully understanding of what it is we're going through and expecting something different from us than what we're able to give, and not having any sense of empathy or any sense of understanding or even any capacity to possibly think about what it could possibly be like for us and what it might be like to walk a mile in our shoes. So the next time you're at the amusement park, ask that guy who's running the roller coaster if he can just let it run. And you just ride that thing all damn day until you're screaming to get off. And watch them still never let you off. Have you ever ridden the Gravitron or any other kind of form of Gravitron type of ride at an amusement park? It's a thing that spins around in circles, and it spins so fast that it sucks you back to the wall. A lot of people with vestibular illness experience gravitational pull, and it's as if we are being sucked one way or another, or pushed down to the ground. We feel this 100% real sense of gravity. Like the same way you feel when you're in an elevator and the elevator lands and you feel that gravity. You feel the weight in your feet get heavier for just a moment when that elevator lands, when it stops. We feel that sense of gravity pushing us into the ground non-stop all the time. Or when you're in a car and you come to a stop real quick and your body's still in motion and the gravity pushes you forward. Or when you're in a car and you're stopped and you slam on the gas real hard and that gravity pushes you backwards. We physically feel that. And it's not just in our heads, it's 100% real feeling sensation. I know that it's real because 5 years ago, before I stepped off that airplane, every sensation that I felt was normal. I was a normal person. I'd ridden the Gravitron. I'd ridden on roller coasters. I'd ridden on elevators. I knew what all those sensations felt like. But when I got off of that airplane, those sensations were there non-stop, and it felt 100% physically real, the same exact way it feels to a normal person when those physical things are actually happening. So you take this Gravitron situation. Imagine yourself riding the Gravitron. Spins around in circles, sucks you to the wall, you feel the gravity. Imagine you're at home. Simple stuff, simple tasks that everybody takes for granted. Doing the laundry, folding clothes, putting the groceries away, cooking dinner, sweeping the house, vacuuming the house. All normal, simple activities. But imagine you're on that Gravitron and you're fighting that gravity to still navigate around your home and do those things. While you're trying to fold that laundry, gravity is trying to push your arms away. While you're trying to stand by the stove and stir that dinner, gravity is pushing you to the side. While you're trying to reach up onto that top cabinet to get one of your ingredients for dinner, gravity is pushing you down to the ground. Gravity is pushing you and pulling you in all these different directions until your joints are so sore from fighting it all so hard for so long. But still, you've got to keep it together. Because to the rest of the world, you look normal. And you're putting on this physical fight that's literally taking everything that you have. And you don't have the ability to focus on one more thing. The ability to take on one additional task. And one person simply asking you a question or asking you to do one simple thing can be enough to make it all erupt. And then it's your fault and you're the bad guy because they don't understand why you're behaving so irrationally or so frustrated because of this one simple thing that somebody wanted to throw on top of your plate, while you were also invisibly fighting the ride on the Gravitron while trying to live your life and take care of all the responsibilities in it. Nobody shuts that Gravitron off either. And if those two very relatable experiences weren't enough to help a normal person with a healthy vestibular system understand how difficult it could be to focus, here's a few visual references for you too. I'll warn you, if you have MdDS, vestibular migraines, any kind of visual disturbance, vestibular illness, you will probably not want to watch this. This is your cue to turn away, or flip your phone over, don't look, I don't care, whichever. But I want people to understand and see how hard it is for us to focus every moment, because I'm tired of people being frustrated because we're not living up to their expectations in the moment that they expect it. Yeah, maybe we had a moment of weakness, a moment of brain overload, a moment of our symptoms are so bad right now, we can't even. I don't even remember where I was going with that sentence. I don't freaking remember. I think this light is getting to me. So, I'm going to share some visual references that will help a normal, healthy person understand why it is we struggle, especially in the moments where our symptoms are high. We'll start with a simple task. This is only reading, but with a vestibular illness and a lack of ability to focus, a lack of ability to feel still, a lack of ability to feel still, it becomes an almost impossible task. Why, I bet if I had held this camera still, you would have read this entire paragraph by now. But if I were to ask you how much of it you've read, what's your true answer? Leave it in the comments down below. Another simple task that can be difficult for someone with a vestibular illness is working on a computer. So give this a try. Next time you need to work on your computer, grab yourself a rocking chair and ditch that old office chair. Start typing and leave me a comment down below. Let me know just how many typos you ended up with. Have you ever felt so sick or so bad that you couldn't even think straight? Well, people who are living with vestibular illness are typically also living with a constant sensation of motion sickness. So that's another thing that can sometimes make it difficult for us to focus and really think clearly. That's another reason that we make a lot of silly mistakes. So next time you see us put something in the fridge that doesn't belong in the fridge, there might be a pretty good reason for it. Thank you all for watching, and if you have a healthy vestibular system and you watch this video for a friend or family member to learn a little bit about what they're going through, thank you so much for sticking around and watching till the end, and thank you for caring enough about your friend or family member to learn and understand what they're dealing with. If you are one of my fellow vestibular warriors, I want to thank you so much for coming along with me on my journey. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys are the reason that I do this. So I want to thank you so much for the subscriptions to my channel. So I want to thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing my videos, and commenting on my videos. Those comments are what keep me going. Those comments are what make it all worth it. Like I said, this second portion of the video was going to be all unedited so that you guys could see what it's really like when I'm filming my videos without editing those clips together and without editing the dead space and the mistakes and the brain fog and the word slips out of it. So you might have noticed that in the beginning portion of the video, I kind of left off feeling really funny from the lights and was getting kind of woozy. It usually does take me multiple days, multiple shoots to make it through a video. Like I said, video editing is a beautiful thing. I'm able to take those shoots from 2 different days and seamlessly merge them together. I do have tricks up my sleeve when I'm going to film the second portion of the video, just so that it looks like I was able to complete it all in one shooting. I will do my best to appear the same way that I did in the beginning portion of the video. So I would wear the same shirt that I wore in the beginning of the video. I'd try to do my hair the same way that I did in the beginning and try to wear the same colors of makeup that I did in the beginning. You can tell I am obviously wearing a different shirt that I began this video with because it's now 2 days later. I think I had my hair curled in the beginning portion of this video. I didn't curl it, it's just straight today. So this is the reality of what shooting the videos are really like for me. It's difficult for me to sit in front of the camera for any length of time. I'm already struggling to get my words out because the lighting is already getting to me again. But that is kind of my tricks that I do to make it appear as though I'm able to complete a full video and stay on track and cover all the topics that I mean to talk about. For those of you that are thinking, why do you edit that out? Why don't you show people what it's really like? Why aren't you showing the reality of all the bad parts of MdDS or vestibular illnesses? I do share a lot of raw footage in some of my videos of what the struggle is like, and like some visual situations where I've been almost unable to walk. So I do show some of the real struggles, but the reason that I do so much editing in my videos where I do a lot of talking is because I want the viewers to stick around and I want them to learn as much about this illness as they possibly can. I want them to be as educated as possible. I want them to, I want my videos to hold their interest so that they stick around and hear all the topics that I'm covering. I don't want people to get 5 minutes into the video and then say, gosh, this video could have been over with 2 minutes ago, like she's just rambling and saying the same thing over with and just staring off into the dead air, not saying anything while she tries to think of the word that she wants to say. This is boring, I'm moving along to the next video. So that's the reason that I cut a lot of that out of my videos, is because I want to get them to as broad of an audience as possible in order to raise awareness. I want to hold my viewers' interest so that they're able to listen to all the topics I want to discuss. It's not at all to hide the reality of the illness. And I do share a lot of the real problems with our illnesses. So down below I will link a couple of my videos that show the visuals and a lot of the real struggles that we are facing with vestibular illnesses. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can support me in raising awareness for MdDS, vestibular migraines, and other vestibular illnesses by subscribing to my channel, liking my video, give it a little thumbs up. Please show your support for your fellow MdDS warriors. Definitely leave me a comment if you can. Those are really what keep me going. And share this video. Get the word out there. Spread awareness as much as you can. It's free to subscribe. It's free to like. It's free to comment. It's free to share. So help me spread awareness. Join this journey with me. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know what kind of topics you'd like to see me cover next. Thanks again for joining me. You can also show your support by following my Facebook page or Instagram.